Been a tiring week, difficult week this week, coming back, jet lag, um, granddaughter's birthday, several upheavals during the week. I've had to go, like a lot of people at the moment who are on their own, struggling through. I've had to go and get, for the very first time in 37 years, a mortgage holiday. I was very lucky because the mortgage people were absolutely, because I've always overpaid my mortgage. I was kind of like in front, so they were really, really happy to give me 6 months. I don't have to stop paying my mortgage now until May 2012, which gives me time to get other things I'm still catching up with sorted. Financially, it is tight at the moment, and that's also because of my car engine going wrong, the gearbox needing replacing, my PA equipment went up in smoke, and the trip to Los Angeles has been really good for me. However, coming back, I don't think it has actually, and I think I get depressed when I come back here. I think it's a mixture of things. I'm still being punished by certain members of my family for having the audacity to have a life, it seems to me. Um, um, the whole saga with my former partner and I seems to set a precedent where it doesn't matter how far you go or don't go, there are no boundary lines as to respect or decency or even care. And that is concerning me a great deal. My family is very important to me. However, what this journey of the Froglet Diaries and the Phoenix chapters and the ongoing saga has taught me is that if you don't place a value on yourself, other people won't. And I don't feel that other people have placed a value on me in particular for a long time now. Certain things happen, and it seems to me like, it seems that some people have a habit or choose to punish in ways that is not healthy or fair. And this has been going on for a long time, and pretty soon I think it's going to come to a head, for me at least. I'm going to make a very difficult decision very shortly. And I think the way things are unfolding is going to make that decision easier to make. There are some times in your life where you just know that to really move forward, you have to really move. And one of the things that's kept me here is being there for my family. I have a very poorly father at the moment who's perhaps, not doing too well since my mum's death. And that's a very big concern of mine, to be there for him in as many ways as I can. My grandchildren are extremely concerned for their stability. Certain things I think are very important, and thank goodness for letters, cards, tapes, videos and Skype, because those are very important, I think, to keep contact with your family and that when you are away. I have been offered a place out in Spain. I haven't got a clue about what's going to happen with the voice, and I haven't got a clue yet what might happen with the Phoenix Factor. All I know is that those things are important to me, and also writing the book about why I did the Froglet Diaries and why I've done some of the things I've done and how it's benefited me and some of the downside. I think enlightenment, when you suddenly realise what it's all been about, is very important. I've had a really tricky couple of days, set off by receiving a couple of emails. One email from an agency who I believe are deliberately trying to jeopardise my work out of resentment, jealousy, and a dislike of my former partner, plain and simple. That has to be addressed. That is going to be addressed, whether it's politely. I hope not to have to go down the legal route with this, but it's looking like I may have to seek legal advice about it, and it's upset me a great deal. This particular agency had a huge, major part in my emotional state and financial state of affairs over the past couple of years. That's the trouble when you put your work in one place. The same thing happened in the duo with Frog Prince. Making a commitment to somebody you love at the risk of putting all your eggs into one basket may be a bit foolhardy, but at the time and the ultimate subsequent times, I felt it was very important because I wanted to be with him. I wanted to have a life with him, and that was the best way to do it. At the moment, things are unfolding, opportunities are presenting themselves, personally, professionally. I'm not ready personally to do anything about the opportunities personally. I'm tired, I'm drained, I've got too much to do to actually worry too much about having any personal relationship at the moment, plus the fact I don't think I'm ready to be with anybody. But I have recently, today and yesterday, had a bit of an epiphany about how, it's important to realise that what you thought you had in the past was not necessarily what you actually had, and how, a love story is only a love story if everybody's in it and loving. And, one person can love. If it's not reciprocated and it's not mutual, then it's not a love story. And as the reality bites home very clear, that's a very painful thing to deal with, but it's also a very necessary thing to deal with. And the thing that helps you move forward from a situation you thought was something and it really wasn't, and it isn't, is when you get what's called a head screw. I won't use the other word. When somebody isn't being straight, or when somebody can't feel they can hurt you or be honest with you or tell it as it is, I think it's far harder, because your own head makes you think it's a certain way. Things that are being told to you make you feel as though it's being a certain way. And when the reality points out that it isn't, it's just a load of, sidestepping and a dance that's being played out, and it's just words, and nothing substantiates what you're told. I think eventually you have to wake up and smell the coffee, and when you've smelt the coffee, I think it's easier to empty the coffee pot down the sink and move on, and maybe make a new fresh pot, or maybe make a cup of tea or something different. I think I'm at the point where I realise my future lies in my own hands, not looking behind me. I've known that for a long time, but actually doing it, people think it's easy when you've made decisions. It's not. You still get days when something will trigger something, and you go back and you look in the rearview mirror and you think, oh my goodness, look what I've left behind. And then your brain and your heart and your emotions start churning all this stuff, and a lot of it's a load of rubbish. You haven't left anything behind because there wasn't anything to leave behind. In reality, it was all fake, it was all false, so there's nothing actually behind you to worry about. Oops. It's what's in front of you, what's in the future that's important. And there's only one way to do that, and that is to get off your butt and go and do the work necessary to make that future happen. And that's what I need to do. Whoever it upsets, whoever it offends, whoever doesn't see the reasons for doing stuff, I've got to do what I think is right for me. And that's what I'm going to do. It's a serious diary today, but then it's been a serious couple of days. life can be good. It is good. Lots of opportunities present themselves. And you have to keep thinking positively. You have to keep believing in yourself. But that doesn't mean you can't sometimes face the fact that you're going ouch and cry and have a down day. And when that happens, I'm very lucky. For everything that goes ouch, there are also moments where there are some people in my life saying, hey, 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 have you looked at it this way? Or who don't say anything, who just ring up and say, are you okay? Not the people all the time I'd like to think are worried or care about me, but the people who are there, I'm very grateful for. I thank you for that. You know who you are.